Hi, I'm Dan the Chili Man, and it is chili time. We've had a love affair with chili for many, many years, and after talking about it, we decided we would start making some videos and a blog and whatnot, so we're going to make some chili. Now, many years ago, I became a neighborhood bar and restaurant owner to a famous little neighborhood bar called Chicken on the Run, and they had a 50th anniversary celebration in the city of Deer Park, and I entered my chili recipe and it won first place. So that became the house chili at the restaurant, and 30 years later it's still there, and you can stop in the Chicken on the Run in Deer Park, Ohio and have a bowl. It's still made by Uncle Paul Spilly, the cook down there. But I'm gonna make a recipe of that right now. Now when we cook, we always like to listen to music. So today, while we're gonna be listening to Linda Ronstadt's, in her Mexican phase, Mas Canciones. So we'll hear that in the background, makes the cooking a little more pleasant. So the first thing we want to do is get our ground beef cooking. This actually is ground chuck. I like to cook with the more fatty ground meat because the less fat you get, I think you use a lot of flavor. So we're going to get that in the skillet and kind of cut it with chunks. Now when I cook with anything that's less fat than ground beef, I like to have a small amount of oil or grease in the skillet. Now we had bacon and eggs for breakfast, so we just wiped the skillet out and just left a little smattering of that in there so the beef don't stick until we start getting it cooking in its own fat. We'll cook it. So we're going to get that cooking right there, and we'll put all the other ingredients together. Okay. Our liquid is going to be tomato juice, so we're going to have and by the way, that's 2 pounds of ground beef, and we're going to use a 46-ounce can of tomato juice. I save the can because if it finds out I need a little more liquid later, I'm going to put some water in there, slosh it around so we get a little more juice, like a juicy water. Then we're going to add approximately a 28-ounce can of tomatoes, chopped tomatoes. We really like to make this in the fall after we harvest the tomatoes fresh out of the garden, but you can't do that all the time. So we're going to get this going on this pot going on a low fire, and we'll be letting that cook very slightly while we're browning our beef, and the beef's coming along nicely. Okay, now our vegetables we're going to use are going to be the main ones. I believe that celery is a great addition to chili. So we're going to use approximately a 3/4 cup of chopped celery. We're going to use 1 very large or 2 smaller onions. So we're going to cut those up, peel that down. Now remember, I used to watch Justin Wilson, the Cajun cook, and he says you don't want to save that first layer of onion. It's kind of bitter, so we're going to follow his advice. Now a lot of people will cut their tomatoes up into real small, mince them like, but I like nice chunks tomatoes, so we're going to leave them in fairly good sized chop. So we're just going to cut through the onion north, turn it, we're going to cut it east and west next very quickly. We can transfer that to our pot. I like lots of onion. We'll put that in there while she's getting warm. Love the sound of sizzling meat. Although I love vegetables, I'm a meat eater. That's moving along nicely. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up a green pepper. Now, the heat of the pepper is entirely up to you. As I get older, I can't eat the spicy stuff in the heat. And I think a lot of people confuse spice with heat only. So I use more milder things. I use green pepper. You can also use ancho peppers and lots of different peppers, or get the hotter things, the jalapenos and on the habanero. Now a lot of people say you should get all those ribs out of there. I'm not a real stickler about this, so I just kind of pull out the other. You can use a little paring knife and do it, but anyway, I just cut them into strips. Good secret is to have a sharp knife, which I don't. and then I cross them this way. And once again, just like the onions, I like a little bigger chop in the thing. And always, we don't believe in a garbage can for the scraps. We are gardeners. We always have a compost container around there, and we save all our scraps for the compost pile, feed the earth, make better tomatoes. So we're going to add that in there. Stirring up like wooden spoons. Jackie, my wife Jackie, is always collected wooden spoons. We got a whole display of them over here. We're going to get this up just a little bit. Once you get that grease in there, there's not that much chance of doing it. Next thing we're going to do is put our other ingredients in there. We're going to use approximately a 28-ounce can of tomato sauce. Let's get our rubber spatula. We want to get every bit of that goodness out of there. No sense letting the landfill have that. Linda's starting to fire up here. Okay, then we're going to add our spices. Now, this recipe originally was a winner of the World Chili Cook-Off thing, which I took the recipe and changed it a lot. One in 4 hours, stir every 10-minute deals. I kept pretty much the spice package together. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of cumin, which I think is an essential chili ingredient. Almost every chili I make has cumin. We're going to use some dry mustard, 1 teaspoon of dry mustard, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic. You can use garlic powder if you want, but we seem to like granulated garlic better. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. You can use fresh if you have it. Let's give that a little stir. Meat's coming along nicely. Okay, then we're going to put in curry powder. A half a teaspoon of curry powder, a half teaspoon of garlic salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Now you can use more if you like it a little hotter. I prefer not. I'm just a sissy in my old age. And we're going to let that simmer a while, get our beef finished up, and we'll be back. Okay, we always seem to forget something. Guess what? We need 1/4 cup of chili powder. Now, I use a dark chili powder. I just think it makes that chili give a real good color, flavor. And I use something mild to medium. Once again, they make hot chili powder. If you like things hotter, you can sure go that way. Stir that in. We've been cooking this chili now long enough to make those vegetables soft. In the restaurant, we didn't overcook it because it's going to sit in the steam table, and the next day it's going to be reheated and all that, so we didn't cook it all that much. But what we've got here is the chili with all the ingredients in it. We have taken the meat, the finished meat, and I do not believe it's like the peppers and the onions. I want to have the meat in some fairly good-sized chunks too, so we don't over chop that in the skillet. We're going to dump that in there. Jackie likes her chili really thick. So this might be just the way she likes it here. It's a little thick, and it's going to get thicker. Now, we like to put beans in our chili, and so we're going to use 2 15-ounce cans of beans. You can use kidney beans or red beans. What I've selected today are pinto beans, and you want to drain them, but I don't over drain them. Some of that liquid's pretty good, so I leave the lid on a little bit, and we just pour the excess off is all. Don't worry about draining it real deep. We're going to dump those in there, stir them in, and then we can always adjust the spices as we see fit. Now remember, I told you I saved my tomato juice can. I think we need a little water. So what I'm going to do is just kind of rinse the can out a little bit. We got some juicy like water there. That should be just fine. We're going to cook that down real good, and we're going to try some of it. Now, beverages are a great thing to have with chili, beer and all this, but what we select today is a Kundi Century Vine Zinfandel. If you've never been to the Sonoma Valley in California, the Cundy Winery is a great place. They make great wines, and they're great people. So we like to get their wine. Get the Big Dipper. Get us some of this good stuff. We got us a nice bowl of chili we're going to try. As I said, we created a blog. This is our blog. It's Dan the Chili Man, and the address is danthechiliman.blogspot.com. If you're a technological dinosaur like myself and can't get a hold of that, you can always just email me at valleydan@att.net. But you know what they say, the proof is in the taste. Let's see what we got here. Until next time.